My name is Shane Sterling. I'm the operations manager for the Sterling team. I work for my father, David Sterling. I help with pretty much all the behind the scenes stuff. He's kind of like the sales force on the team, and then I kind of handle a lot of the paperwork. I help keep the business organized, try to keep him organized with the things he needs to do. I handle a lot of the coordination for showings, appointments, that sort of thing. Typically, if everyone in the office is busy, then it's a busy time, and there's not a lot of flexible time, I would say. So, I mean, these people, they're getting calls from clients who need to see something. They're getting calls from clients who need attention, and usually, from the client's perspective, they need it immediately. They want help right now, and from the agent's perspective, it's like, you try to keep a schedule. They try to have appointments. They try to keep a calendar with everything time blocked, but it's like, you can feel like that's all organized at 9 in the morning, but by 9:15 it's a mess already because you've gotten several calls and people need help. So I think that's the big challenge, is just like when it's on, it's on. The market's hot, and then you want to be doing everything that you can to be able to help your clients as quickly as possible. Feeling like, I think the biggest worry for a lot of these agents is the feeling that someone's slipping through the cracks. They're getting phone calls off the hooks when it's very, very busy. You try to stay organized, keep notes of everybody that you're trying to help, but inevitably there's always that sense that if I'm focusing too much on these people, then someone else is going to kind of get lost in the mayhem and everything. So I think that's from what I see from the agents who are like seasoned, who've been in the business a long time. That's, I think, their biggest fear is knowing or fearing that one of their clients might not be taken care of to the standard that they know they can achieve. Well, I'm the operations manager for our team, so I'm actually licensed. So my father's licensed, but if he goes out of town, we have to find somebody who can help out while he's gone to be able to access key boxes to let clients indoors and stuff like that. And of course, the last time he was out of town, enjoying, his vacation home and trying to relax, that's right when some clients decided they needed to see a home right away, and it was an emergency. They had already organized their whole family to get together to go out and tour this place, and they expected us to be available immediately. And on the one hand, you really want to help them out, but on the other hand, that's very short notice. It's difficult to suddenly drop everything, even if all hands are on deck. So when you have half of your team who's out of state who can't help with that, it can be very challenging, and it's something you don't want to do, is tell your client no, they can't have something, because that we're in the business to help them. All I want to do is be helpful, but occasionally you run into situations where there's a scheduling conflict that cannot be avoided, and somebody has to get the bad news that they're not going to get attention at that time, and I'd say that's a very big challenge, and that's something that, especially during busy times, we face somewhat frequently. It's just you want to help everybody, but not everyone can get all that attention at all the times, So one of the things that they'll do to try and kind of head this problem off in advance that I've seen a lot is before you know that you're going out of town, ideally you have that plan in advance. So they'll go and talk to 2 or 3 other agents in the office and say, hey, I want to be out of town from this time to this time. Can I rely on you to help me show a buyer client if something comes up? So, I mean, it's easy to try and plan that in advance. And of course, like, we work in a very high production office. A lot of our people, these are professionals. They are career agents. This is what they do. So they are reliable, but they have their own businesses to do as well. So sometimes it's nice to be able to, you want to ask 2 or 3 different people to know that, hey, if something comes up, can I rely on you? And if person 1's not available, can I rely on person 2 or person 3? So that's the most common thing I'll see, is just reaching out in advance, getting some sort of confirmation from somebody that, yes, I'll be around, and yes, I can keep an eye on your business in your absence. So as far as preparing for emergency situations where something comes up and we don't have a person already kind of assigned to help us out in David's absence, we don't have a lot of solutions. It's a matter of like getting out the call tree, calling a couple agents, seeing if someone's available, hoping that someone has time that they can carve out of their already usually busy schedule to come in and help our client when someone needs help right away. So it's by no means the perfect solution, but it's the best that we have to work with the tools that we have available to us. The thing I don't love about that solution is it's reactionary. And nobody, I think most people would like to have a plan in place and kind of be able to have some predictability about how their day is going to go, and how their client's experience is going to be. But when you have emergency things that come up and you're not planned for them, whether that's due to you not planning in advance or things being out of your control, sometimes that's the case too. It's really terrible, to have to tell a client, I'm sorry, we're going to have to, I know that you're ready to go and you're really excited to see this house and we're in a busy market and there's probably a lot of other people who want to see it too, but sorry, you're going to have to wait till tomorrow because that's the soonest that we can help you. That's the worst. That's like when you call your doctor and you've got an emergency and they tell you, sorry, the soonest we can see you is 2 or 3 weeks from now. Nobody wants to hear that. I want to hear that you can help me immediately. And that's a lot of the times how we want to be able to take care of our clients, is to help them immediately. And when that's not an option, it's really a bummer, and you feel like you're letting them down. And it's obviously there's a risk to the business, but it's also like these are people who we care about. We were probably referred to them by someone else who we've made a good impression with. We want to uphold our reputation, and when you have to tell someone no, or I'm sorry, I can't help you with that right now, you start to feel like you're whittling away at that reputation a little bit, and you don't want that to happen.